Ụlọ nsọ gị Chukwu ka ị na-abata, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Anya bịawa ịsọpụrụ gị ugbu a, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Bịa o bịakwute ya, bịakwute ya, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Bịa o bịakwute ya, bịa o bịakwute ya, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Chukwu nna n'ụlọ gị ka ị na-akpọ gị, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Otito na-adịrị gị mgbe niile, bịakwute ya bịa zuru ike. Bịa o bịakwute ya, bịakwute ya. Good morning, day one, mamano. Welcome. It is my pleasure to welcome you to another episode of Chism Live, a continuation of the Dibia round table. I'm waiting for Dibia Yudi Onyoha to join us, but I'm thrilled to have all of you who are joining us today for this very special round table. It's the part 2 of our show. Last week, we started a conversation about the importance of emerging leadership in Nigeria. And our special guest is going to be with us again today. And the exciting, as you all know, smart Madhu Ajaja. I'll introduce him again in a minute. But before we do that, we'll have a prayer by Dibia Yudi Onyoha. Dibia, take it away, Mama.
All praises to Chi the Creator, the Supreme Being, Chi the Good, Chi the Magnificent, with grace. Let every of our lives be light, and let all our acts be crowned with good. And may the world prosper from our ministry, now and forever. So let it be. Amen.
And so it is. And so it is. And let me take the moment before we get started today to offer, to bring in all the DBS. UD, of course, you met UD. Our honorable UD Mamao, thank you for always being excited and happy to join this round table today.
Yes.
And UD, for those of you who don't know, UD is the Dean of Chiefs Education at Chiefs Mahadum. And our next member of the round table, I think he just joined us, is Dibia Chiedozie. Dibia, your devices are not connected, but hopefully he'll get that sorted out. and we can get started with the conversation. But I always believe that you have to give. UD has given thanks and honor to the Creator. I'm your host, Dibia Otraja, spiritual leader of Chiism International, a ministry of God and religion founded by Obaja Hankeu Konyoha and Noha Ngozi Onyoha, along with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. These were the founders of, the initial founders of Chiism, or Godianism, as we say in English. Nnamdi Azikiwe was Nigeria's first president. And of course, there was Mbono GK, Fumilayo Kuti, the Oba of Benin, and many civil rights advocates from the Cameroons. And I'm also the Chancellor and Dean of Natural Theology at Chis Mahadum. So for those of you also who are not familiar with what Chiism or Godianism, I always have to, because sometimes people think it's there are two different religions. They are not. It's the same religion. Godianism is the English, and Chiism is Igbo. It's an African spiritual tradition centered around direct communication with the Creator, whom we refer to as Chineke, among other names in different tongues. And we believe in honoring our ancestors, our noble ancestors, because without them, no matter what we do, we will not be here. They are the cause and the reason why we are here. So we honor them. Our aim is to explore spirituality from both African spirituality from both intellectual and spiritual perspectives, because we want to foster deep discourse at this round table. But before we dive into our discussion today, let's take another moment to give thanks to the Creator for this wonderful opportunity. I am so grateful. This is a spiritual prayer for blessings and gratitude. And you are Ndife, as we say in Igbo, Ndife, children of the light. So, blessed children of the light, good morning to you all. Mamano. As we gather in this moment, let us recognize that each day we breathe in is a divine blessing. Many are not this fortunate. It is not our wealth, not our material possessions that sustain us, contrary to popular belief. It is the simple joys of life, the warmth of the sun, the songs of the birds, and the gift of another day to continue our journey. That is the blessing we pray for all the time. This is what you want. You want to be blessed. But the greatest gift that we get, that we don't, sometimes we take for granted, is the opportunity to inhale and exhale and do it one more time. And that means continue the journey. So may we understand that all that we desire is within our reach as long as we have breath. And nothing is too good for us. When we look at what other people have achieved, it's their turn. It's not your turn yet. Doesn't mean you cannot achieve what they've achieved. You just have to be patient. God's time is the best. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we want it now. And sometimes when we get it when we want it, we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So we have to learn patience and not be jealous when we see other people making it. It is just not our turn. Remember that you are a survivor. And in seeking friends, know that the ultimate companion is Chineke, the divine. For you are one with the Creator. You are one with the Creator. Right where I am, Chineke is. That's what we say. Right where we are, the Most High is. And we must honor our ancestors, Chineke. Today we honor all of them, wherever they are. They paved the way for our existence. Today we are going to be talking about leadership. If you're blessed with the responsibility to lead, remember that to mislead is to violate the sacred trust between you and Chineke. Service to humanity reflects the divine. And when you uplift others, you honor that connection with the Most High. Many of us violate it as leaders because we forget what's important. We forget why we became leaders. We start getting tempted by all the money. That doesn't leave legacy. Legacy is how you make your people feel. So today we ask those leaders, for those leaders who have taken the oath to lead and to serve, please remind them that they are connected to you and you are using them as a tool to serve humanity. I pray for your health, your peace, and joy to manifest your lives today and tomorrow, should you be lucky to see tomorrow. For those who are suffering, may the healing power of the divine flow through you, restoring balance and wholeness. Know that you will be renewed and reassured by the presence of the divine within you. Today, in prayer, I ask for Chineke to allow you to walk in holy boldness, be empowered by the strength of the divine and the legacy of the ancestors. You cannot fail. Embrace the truth and let it guide you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in Dibia Chiedozie. Here he is, the king himself. Where is it?
Yes,
Okay, Madu. Be blessed
You say, oh,
I greet everyone present, those watching us online. Today being Bonta, the element of fire, cosmic fire, responsible for formation, transformation. May our lives be transformed, just like when gold passes through fire, becomes finer. All metals pass through fire and become finer. Let our love be like that. It will not be like those of paper and wood that pass through fire and become reduced to dust. We will pass through fire, through all the travails and temptation, will become better alloys. And that will be our faith.
And so it is. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Roundtable Part 2. And of course, we have our special guest, Smart Madu Ajaja. Before I bring him forward, I'll do the honors for those who didn't join us last time, to learn a little bit more about who this gentleman is before he joins the table. Smart Madu Ajaja is recognized for his engaging style and commitment to highlighting social issues in Nigeria. He has built a reputation as a credible journalist, often addressing topics related to healthcare, education, and community development. Ajaja's role as the anchor of Nigeria Now involves covering current events and providing insights on pressing national matters, making him a key figure in informing the public. Additionally, his work on Nurses Arise showcases his dedication to healthcare professionals and issues affecting the medical community. He is also involved in various initiatives aimed at fostering dialogue and awareness around social issues, reflecting a commitment to positive change in Nigerian society. And having said that, it is my pleasure to welcome the one and only Smart Madu Ajaja. How are you? Welcome to the table.
Welcome,
everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to the table.
It's a pleasure.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, madam. No.
Good to see you. Yes.
Smart, do you know we have something in common? My mother is from your place.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a pleasant.
Her father was Obimosa.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So we are connected. From you're from Asaba area, right? Delta.
I'm from Delta, yes.
Delta, yes, that's where she's from.
Yes.
That means that Delta people are fantastic people.
And the pepper soup is the best. The pepper soup is the best.
My mother was something else.
Right.
Ofen salah,
I'm salivating now.
I'm telling you, my mom could
You're
cook that stuff.
salivating, yeah. You know,
Wow.
we just went when we went home and we went and visited my mother's sister who has since passed away, and the whole family. So we were welcomed by the whole family, you know. And oh my God, let me tell you, food galore. Food galore. Anything you can call Igbo food was on the table. We ate till we were sick. Unfortunately, poor UD didn't go with us. Sorry.
It happens.
Here's the story.
So make sure he goes next time you are going.
Oh, yeah.
Next time he goes, we'll make sure that he is fed. So welcome to all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking again about leadership in Nigeria. Now, today, I really want us to focus on what's going on in Abia State, because there's a lot of talk about Abia State. Is it really true what they're saying about this? The president, the governor of Abia State, Governor Otti, and he's regarded as quite exceptional. And a lot of Igbos in Abia State are so excited about what he's doing. Now, not everybody shares that opinion, but nonetheless, I'm going to share with you why many people think that he is exceptional. And then we can all jump in and add whatever we want to add or take from it. Now, let me just give you a little educational background about Governor Otti. Now, before I tell you who he is, now Abia State has had numerous governors, all right? And we've had Ojos Okalo, we've had Oti. Was it Tiot? I think it was.
Carlo.
Theodore,
Kaloji, not Oti. I'm sorry, Kaloji. And then we had what was his gentleman?
Ibazo.
Ibazo. Then we had Ibazo.
Yeah.
And at that time, there were a lot of issues that had not been resolved. Okay, there were a lot of issues until Governor Oti came into the picture. Now, I'm not saying he's the miracle worker or anything like that, but I'm just going to share what has happened, or at least his leadership style. You know, I always say, if you're going to lead, put Chineke first, because you are a servant of the divine. And if you are going to serve the divine, you can't just talk about it. You can't talk about serving Chineke, serving God, whatever you call the divine, without that being reflected in your attitude towards the people you're supposed to serve. Chineke only works for humanity through another human being. So if you're put in that position, it is not about how often you go to church. It's not about how much money you give to the church. It's about what people can see. That is what your legacy will be. So for those people who, yes, they went to the churches and they give money and they threw big fancy parties and they gave away money to this person or motorcycle or whatever, that is not what people remember you. They remember how you changed their lives. Now, Governor Otti has a very strong academic background, which informs his governance approach. Plus, he's very spiritual, very religious. His expertise in economics and financial management contributes to effective policy making. So when he came into office, it appears that he wanted to apply his background, his academic background in his governance. Okay, he has initiated quite a bit of economic initiatives. He has focused on revamping Abia's economy, promoting local industries, and attracting investments to boost, and that there is the key there, to boost employment and economic growth. This is how you impact lives. It's not the little money you throw on the floor for the paupers to pick up. It is how you boost employment so that they can sustain the ability to take care of their own families.
Absolutely.
He has engaged in a lot of infrastructure development. His administration has prioritized infrastructure projects all over. People can see. A friend of mine came home and she said she fell asleep when she came from I think it was in Port Harcourt. I'm not quite sure where she came from. She fell asleep in the car. And before you knew it, she was in Abriba. She couldn't believe it. Before it used to take hours. Now it took her less than 1 hour to get to where she was going. So infrastructure projects such as improving roads and also healthcare facilities and education systems is just revamping elementary schools. There are so many schools that I see that are being revamped completely, whereas in the past our children are in the classrooms and water is pouring on their heads, but not anymore. And he's very transparent. Okay, he believes in accountability. He advocates for transparency in all governance, aiming to reduce corruption. That's, that has always been an issue for us, the corruption. He's insisted that there will be no corruption. Okay, he wants to increase public trust in government processes. One of the things that he's done that I'm personally excited about is that he has paid the retirees years back, not just starting now. He went back to pay them something that had been deprived them for many years. So you think about the conditions, think about old people in Nigeria, in the villages who have no money. Many of them died sooner than they should, but he has done something about that. He's emphasizing engaging with citizens, listening to them, listening to their concerns, and based on listening to those concerns, he involves them in decision-making processes and actually uses their recommendations in governance, in putting policy forth. Last but not least, I love his youth empowerment program. He targets young people. Even his assistant, his lieutenant governor, is a young man. And he's creating jobs, skills training, support for entrepreneurs, addressing unemployment, and most importantly, he's accessible. Now, I've known, I went to Nigeria. I don't want to call the name of the governor. When I went to Nigeria, I took the Jack and Jill of America. They wanted to build a road, and this governor made it impossible to be seen. The people who were supposed to build the road. Now, this is Jack and Jill of America. The young people had raised enough money to tar the road from Abriba Junction to Kuru. We could not see the governor. Every day I would go and sit and I'll wait and wait and wait. And then I'll look out. The next thing you know, he's off. Wait, I had an appointment. And we fooled around until Jack and Jill got tired and we left Nigeria. Strabag Industries that were supposed to do the road insisted that it had to be signed off by the governor. We couldn't get the governor to sit long enough to allow such a thing to happen. So, but Otti has proved to be different. He listens. He wants to be a part of it. He wants to know what ideas you've got, and he wants to be a part of that. So that's my impression of Otti. Now, what is your impression? Let's start with our guest, Smart Badua Jaja. What say you?
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. To be very candid, everything I know about him is what I've heard from people. I don't have that personal touch, but like what the rendition gave about him. I think, by Nigerian standard, he has really is standing out as he stands right now, with what he has done. I know a bit about the previous governors, starting with Orji Okalo. He was just a disaster, complete disaster. He's just, that one is a criminal. There's nothing good about him. And I think they have a name. They call him Denwek Berima in your place here. So yeah, and they said it was his father. It was his father who called him that name, which means his father is a good man, because it's not a true reflection of who he was. The father did not have anything to do with him. And they said he worked very closely with his mother to destroy Abia for 8 years. Nothing done.
It's true.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Next guy who came, Theodore Orji, was the same thing, if not even, not as bad as Orji Zokala, but he did nothing. And then the young man, Ikpeazu, just a complete disaster. So I would say that when this guy came in, he came in with a purpose. You see, most Nigerian politicians, when they don't have any idea, they have no vision, they have no ideology about leadership. They just want all they do is give money and then the people allow them. Because what it is in Nigeria is the man who has the money is the best leader. That's the leader. Yeah. So, and these guys had money, stolen money for the most part of it. Then they will share it among our very extremely poor people, the people that they made poor. The poverty in Nigeria is on purpose. It's not like Nigerians are supposed to be poor. These guys create this poverty to be able to make the people most vulnerable so that they can, permit them to do whatever they like. So when you are poor, you don't be talking about integrity. Integrity and poverty does not go together. They can't. There are no matches. So you are right there with your backs on the wall. You don't have anything to do but do whatever you are told in order for you to feed. It's what Bob Marley called ambush in the night, So that's what it is. It is an ambush. Well, I'm happy when this guy came, he started doing things. It gets to tell you something too. That the way leadership emerges in Nigeria, you have to belong to some kind of cult.
Yes.
It's a cult thing. I'm not sure he belongs to any cult, so he's not answering to anybody.
Yes.
So he came as his own man.
That's right. Say it again.
When you come with your own mind, your own man, you can lead effectively. Yes. Nigeria is failing generally, and Abia failed for that long period of time because the people who have governed the state were never their own men. They belong to a court of elites who never wanted the good of that state. Just like the people holding Nigeria hostage, they don't want the good of Nigeria. They don't care about Nigeria. They don't love Nigeria. They hate Nigeria. So those people before him hated Abia State so badly. Yeah, and self-hate is the worst type of hate. They hate their people. They don't mean well for their people. Abba, for instance, I've heard about Abba since I was born as a city that was built on enterprise, and that Abba fell so badly under Orji Zogalo, Theodore Orji, and later Ekpazu. So it was so distasteful. There was a time that state in Abia State, especially Abba, when armed robbers took over the whole place, they will announce that they are coming to attack a bank, and they will come, and nobody does anything. All kinds of criminalities were taking place in that place. Well, I'm so happy about this guy. That's what a lot of people have so much good. They say he has really transformed the state, and he took over federal government abandoned projects, especially the roads, and he did them to a point where people can travel now between Port Harcourt and that place with ease, unlike what it was before. So I give him a thumb up, and he's a good economic revolutionary. You see, when you tie your intellect to what you do, you have no reason to fail. You have no reason to fail. Abia is not the best, it's not the place that has the highest federal allocation on monthly basis. I come from Delta. I know how much Delta is the highest paid state when they go collect money from the federation account. But there's nothing done, nothing. Yeah, but this guy, he's prudent. He uses the less he collects to maximize output. You can't beat that. He understands economics, the basic economics. We're not talking about econometrics. He's talking about real basic, what do the people need? The people need job. And for you to give a people job, the infrastructure to support what your vision is has to be there. And he's gradually putting all those places together. My only prayer is that by the time he leaves, he would have been able to establish an institution or a system that is or that can be insulated from manipulation by individuals like they had done to Nigeria. Nigeria, yes, has no system. So I would hate to see him take down everything he built when he's leaving. So I would think that he should start breeding people who share in his ideology so that it will be progress continually. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Before
Yeah.
I go to you, Dibia Chedozie, and then Dibia Yudi will summarize. I just want to play, I just want to share a video about it's an update of what's going on in Abia State. So let me share that for a minute, and then we'll take it and run with it.
Okay.
Let's see. Mhm. Okay. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Can you guys hear it?
Nope. Yeah.
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Needs the latest verified stories of progress, accountability, and transformation
All right.
in Nabia
Yes,
goes on
yes, we can
stage.
hear now.
Governor Alex Otti has announced the imminent reconstruction of Orata Road and Old Express Road in Aba, marking the final phase of his administration's comprehensive urban renewal plan. Speaking during a church service at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Aba Ayari area, the governor declared that these projects will complete the full recovery of Aba from decades of decay. He assured residents that both roads will be rebuilt by solid construction firms using durable materials consistent with the high standards seen across the state's road network. The governor also directed the Commissioner for Power to restore electricity to St. Mary's Catholic Church, which had been disconnected for years, and praised churches for their unwavering support. He urged Aba residents to participate in the ongoing continuous voters registration, warning that low turnout risk a return to past misgovernance. And moving on, Governor Alex Otti has approved the appointment of Coach Joshua Gustav Emmanuel as the new head coach of Enyimba International Football Club, Aba. The move is part of a strategic effort to restore Nigeria's most decorated club to continental dominance and reposition it for professionalism, sustainability, and strong corporate governance. Coach Duarte, a holder of CAF, A, B, and C licenses, previously won the Nigerian National League Best Coach Award in 2025 and has managed top clubs in Nigeria and Cameroon. His technical expertise is expected to rebuild Enyimba's competitive edge and reconnect the club with its legacy of excellence. The governor expressed confidence that the coach's discipline and experience will return Enyimba to its rightful place as a powerhouse in African football, reinforcing Abia's status as a hub for sporting excellence. And moving on to agriculture, Abia State has been selected by the Nigerian Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES, a World Bank initiative for the construction of modern veterinary hospital. The facility to be built near Lopanta Cattle Market and Umudike in Umuahia will improve animal health, reduce disease transmission, and align livestock production with international hygiene standards.
Wow.
I just wanted to just a little bit about what's going on. There's so much more. As we go along, I'm going to show something else that shows the the road, the way it was, and what it has now become. Okay, Dibia Cheduzi, your input. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this?
Well, I would like to start from the statement made by our honorable guest,
Yes.
Ajaja, whereby he said Oti came in as a qualified candidate on his own term and the people's term.
Yes.
We remember during the election, the electoral commissioner, a professor lady, said over her dead body will she write against the people's will. If it was death, she was ready to die. She refused to sign the result that was not the people's will.
Beautiful.
Because of that lady,
Yes.
Oti was sworn in.
I remember
Without that lady,
yes.
I think it's frozen.
the result would have been overwritten. So
Yes.
Communication.
this about it. He tried on ABGA platform.
Okay, I'm going to remove him for now until he comes back. So the UD, please go ahead and speak now until he gets back in.
Yeah, our distinguished guest really hit it on the head. You know, Oti coming in to government, his own man, and that's really what it takes. You know, as he mentioned, it's not part of any cult. You know, he doesn't have anybody to answer to. He doesn't have to look over his shoulders. And then, most importantly, as guest also mentioned, and we always talked about it, he's qualified, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
remember, you and I used to have a conversation where in Nigeria, one of the problems Nigeria have is, according to Chief Zebrudai Okodiwomo, misplaced purity, right? And what do I mean by that? We are the only country, at least in Africa anyway, but I'm going to be specific with Nigeria. But we are the only people that will appoint a brain surgeon, medical doctor, as the commissioner for social affairs. He's not qualified. Yes, he's a doctor. He can do brain surgery, but he's not qualified to be Minister of Economics. This is what Nigeria has always been like, where appointments are usually payback for support. At least politically speaking, with the military, it's all authoritarian. Whoever was involved in the cabal that got into power, those people have access to the national resources and they do whatever they want to do. And if you protest, your life will be given up. That's
Yes.
it. You control people with fear. There's no negotiation with authoritarian regimes. That's just the way it is. So Nigeria, even though Nigeria has always kind of conned the whole world that they are democratic, Nigeria has always been authoritarian. There have always been classes of people that are above everybody else. And their job is to make sure, with help from outside influences or forces, that Nigeria continues to be destabilized so that those people in cahoot with the people that want to make sure that you have no control over your resources, they could continue to pillage it from the outside using your own people, your so-called leaders, to make sure that you constantly are struggling to buy a bag of rice. And when you have the people that are constantly trying to survive, you've got them where you want it. You will continue to do to them whatever you want to do to them because they're too busy just trying to eat. You have people in Nigeria that wake up in the morning just to hustle enough to get akara by 12 in the afternoon. And meanwhile, this guy has a college degree. Okay, you remember when we went to Berry Nunn, we were at the hotel, and one of the bartenders had a master's in computer science. Needless to say, I kept that young man fed till we left. I tipped him more than anything. Anything I wanted, I called him. And I advised him, you need to leave home my head. Go to Abuja or Lagos, somewhere where you have the infrastructure that may help you to get a job or something. But you can't do it here when we got this Ifaz guy as governor. It's not going to happen. Okay? But needless to say, I made sure that at least with the advice and the camaraderie I had with him, that at least kept him fed till I left Nigeria. Leadership, right? You have leadership, then you have effective leadership. So let me just kind of define leadership, right? Which is the ability of an individual, group, or organization to influence or guide other individuals, teams, or organizations. That's just the strict definition of what leadership is. It doesn't talk about the quality. It just tells you what it is. Then you have effective leadership, the social process of influencing and enabling others to work collaboratively towards a shared, often transformative goal. That's what you have in Abia State right now. That's what you have in Abia State. The people have always been ready for a change. They just needed the kind of leadership that is there with the people. They needed a leader with a pan-African mindset, which Africa, by the way, needs. We all need that in every Black organization, community, country. The whole continent of Africa needs it. Oji is a true Pan-African because he understands about unity. And for us to do anything, we have to unify Not so much as physical, we've got to be unified up here. Otti unified himself with the people. How did he do it? He was in tune with their needs. He was a true Pan-African because he was about the people. He wasn't about himself, which Nigeria lacks in leadership. Abia State lacked that in leadership with Ojos Okalo and all these other idiots that, were governors. And yes, I call them idiots because that's what they were. They were thieves. They were idiots. They were con men. I'm not afraid to say that. Who are they? If you put me up against Ojos Okalo, I don't care how much money he's got in the bank. All I know is I'm sitting across the street from a criminal. And that makes him beneath me. And as a Nigerian citizen who loves Nigeria, I have a right, regardless of what platform I'm on, to say what I feel, how I feel about what's going on in Africa. Governor Otti understands this. Unity, unified up here. Everything is timing, really. And I really feel like Carlo Oji, Otti, Burkina Faso, the Sahels, the United States political situation, the world trying to create new alliances. All the lies have now been put out. We had a young man that came to Africa. His name is iShow Speed. You've probably seen that on YouTube. And iShow Speed is a 20-year-old, 21-year-old African-American, probably now the most influential internet, whatever they call those guys that do all this internet stuff, streamer in the world, right? He's a millionaire. And he came to Africa and did an African tour. He toured 28 countries. And then he's going to finish it up. He's going to do a round two. And he showed the world that Africa was not about the mud huts, the children in the desert dying of hunger, the baby on the ground with a vulture standing next to it, just waiting for that baby to die so that the vulture can eat it. He showed Africa that the world never sees. He showed Africa unified from Burkina Faso to South Africa to Senegal to Kenya to Nigeria. Of course, they took him to the wrong place in Nigeria, but to Nigeria. But he exposed all these lies, putting us in a very positive light to show the world that we are capable of original thinking, leadership in all areas of human endeavor, because we have all that. And sometimes exposure is everything. We just never were exposed to the rest of the world. All everybody talked about when it came to Africa was always from the position of want, of need, beggars. That's all you see. We never showed that we had anything to front to the world, anything that we are proud of to say to the world, this is who we are, this is what we are, and if you don't like it, that's too bad for you, because when you show us who and what you are, you don't apologize for it. So I don't need to apologize for what I am and who I am, my abilities and capabilities.
Yes.
Finally, Governor Otti is a Pan-African leader who is now proving, not just to people in Abia State, not just people in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but all over the world. His work in Abia State is resonating over here, not just to Nigerians, even African Americans are beginning to notice that stuff.
He went to an event, Dibia Yudi. He just went to an international event. He just went to an international event, and the applause was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
They were applauding him. Let Dibia Chid. Yeah, let Dibia Chid.
Let me just cut off what I'm saying. I'm just going to, hand it back over. The point I'm making is simply this. With a Pan-African mindset, we could change Africa. The timing is correct. The timing is now. Nobody should ever hold back again. When you need to criticize, when you need to make your voice heard, we don't have to apologize, because all those people who are Africans, all the Black folks who have made their voices heard, have always moved us one step further. Governor Otti has made his voice heard. And what voice is that? That we're capable of effective leadership. And if we continue to kind of, through an educational process, bring our people to think like Pan-Africanists from primary school all the way through college, because what you don't want is to make all this progress, build the roads, create all this infrastructure, do all that stuff just for somebody else to come in and destroy what was built. So you need to create an educational system from the grassroots that creates a Pan-African mindset amongst the people. Once you have that, once you create that, this stuff going on in Abia State, in Burkina Faso, in the Sahel is sustainable.
That's right.
That's it.
Yes. Well said. Dibia Chedozie, you were speaking and we caught you off. Powerful, Dibia Yudi. All right, Dibia Chedozie, unmute yourself. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Unmute yourself.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Sorry. Yeah. So let me do it quickly because I'm having internet problem here. I'm using my handset. The school internet system isn't working. So I will go in two ways. One, let's say three. One, I see leadership as an act of covenant. It's a covenant between the cosmic, the society, and the unborn generation. It's a covenant in the sense that if we know what society means, then we know that leadership is meant to uphold the values that establish society. And for us Africans, society is not just those of us living today. It's a cyclical notion that includes the cosmic order, the self-order, the societal order, and the unborn generation. And so that is why our ancestors insisted that before you can have justice, you must have, before you can have Ofo, you must have Ogu. And then you have the name Ogubuaja. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Prevention is better than curing or healing. Now, if we know that, then it means that leadership is about legacy, and legacy cannot strive without virtue. Virtue simply means moral excellence. So, if we know this, then I go on the second one. The second one is that the leadership will find in Abia that Otti is making to become manifest. The credit must start with that electoral woman professor electoral office.
Yes. True.
Without that woman, what the Abians are enjoying today, they will not be able to enjoy. There are so many Ottis in Nigeria, but the cabal refuse them to get to power. The problem of Nigeria is not capable leadership. It is that the corrupt cabal held and championed, maintained and sustained by the international conspiracy led by Britain, France, the West generally, and now nations like China, who use bad leadership in Africa to pillage our resources. They make sure that the worst of us govern us, and they use their dirty linens to blackmail them and make us dry. And so I think we should get more resilient, responsible, responsive female electoral officers.
Hey, say it again.
You're saying this forever. We have been saying this forever. Women
because where they stand and they stand, they say no. They stand, and you know, when a woman says, I stand to give my life, it becomes a threat to the system. They can easily take out the men, but it's always very difficult to take out a woman. If you do so, the cosmic is sympathetic to the earth. The earth is a woman. And who takes out a woman takes out the earth.
That's it.
Say it again. So I'm listening.
We need more of those kind of women as electoral officers. And that is the traditional leadership role of women in traditional Africa. The women were not to be the figureheads. They were to be those who make sure that the true leaders get elected. Whenever the process was maligned, the Umuada and every female authority in a society, they will go down, take down the male authority and dictate how the society should be run. Then they put the right people in governance. So in traditional Africa, women were used to checkmate and regulate male attitude. And where they find that the men are not behaving well, they go and depose those men and put the right people in power. I think we still have that kind of a thing along the axis of Nkoro, Eda, Abreba, whereby you see that even in Asaba area, whereby you see that the Ezenwine is not the wife of Edieze. She comes from a different lineage. And she's in charge of children from when they are born infants to when they are 18. The Eze is only in charge of adults from 19 up, adolescents from 19 to they are dead. And so she is a custodian of culture. When the men misbehave, she knows what to do. She deposes and cancels that particular council and authorizes the election of a new board.
Yeah.
So we should think of this very well. If we must think of the African spirituality, the role of women in making sure things go right, because they are the owners of mothers carried us in their womb. The earth is a mother. It bears us as children. And women don't discriminate whether they are male or female. A child is a child for a woman. And so the role of women is to make sure that the men take decisions that favor the children, no matter their age. And that is why they are put in charge of regulating power. And where they find that there is no capable man, the woman enters the podium and leads. It has happened in several cultures.
He said, this is what we talk about.
That's what we're talking about.
The third leg of my argument is that we thank men like Otti, who are worthy sons of their mothers and their fathers, who have answered their father and mother's name correctly, and who have acted and put price to power. Make people understand that power is not the rawness of it. Power is refined. Power is about virtue. Power is about legacy. Power is about covenant with the people, covenant with the unborn generation, covenant with the cosmos. The power means service, selfless service, committedness, consistency in terms of responsibility to the people, delegation of duties, sourcing for like minds, those resourceful, diligent individuals, empowering them, making sure they lead, male and female. So, the last thing I have to say, Otti should silently send people to Lagos to study how Tinubu has held power in Lagos, replicate it in Abia. And what Tinubu has done is that he has a council of elders that make sure there's consistency no matter the party. So we should not be insisting it must be this party, it must be that party. I remember during the Second Republic, when I was in secondary school, the focus was service. I don't know how that changed. The ideology for those of us from Southeast that time was party is just like a shirt. Let's wear it. Our mad, the person we put there that matters. So if it is APC, let's assemble the best people there. Let them continue. Whatever party, let's assemble the best people, best hands there.
The best.
So party is just a platform. It's just a platform. So because I foresee, not that I foresee, that's what is going to happen. They are going to scuttle Otti's second term. So he should not be working necessarily that he must succeed himself. He should work to institute a platform that will ensure that whichever parties comes in after him, whoever succeeds him under whatever platform as a party, the correct people will continue to be there, so that the good legacy he has started will subsist. There was.
Yes. Yeah, guys, yeah. Very good, very good, very good. You know, I just want to add, then Smart will join us. When you talk about the women ensuring they select the best leaders in Ghana, they're called kingmakers, right? They select the Ashanti Henny. It's the women who select the leaders because they scrutinize, not based on how wealthy you are and all of that, but what do you bring to the table? What's going to happen to the community with under your governance? What are we going to benefit? Like you said, the children, the future. What happens to them and for them as a result of your governance? That's how they select you. They don't select you because you're big or you have money. No, what is your moral compass? And how does that influence or impact the well-being of the society? So thank you for sharing that. And Dibia Yudi, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Now I'm going to give Smart Madu Ajaja the table. And this is what I want to hit you with, and you can expand on it. One of the things that's going on is they're all fighting desperately to remove him, not to give him a second term. Why do you think they're working so hard to remove him?
Well,
Smart, this question is for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hey, thank you, my brothers, UD and Dibia Okoro. Thank you for the insight you brought into this. I really love how you put Pan-Africanism, tied it into what Otti is doing, Abia, and Chief for what you did. The only variance that I would say, I hope you don't mind. Tinubu is not an example, I must say. You could have used that. Okay, I agree with everything you said, but that name Tinubu is I'm very allergic to it. Yeah. Yeah, because me, I find it very difficult to belong to a political party. What I believe in individuals who can get things done and a system being set up so that we'll continue to make progress from. The Tinubu is not the author of that. What he did in Lagos is he heard the people hostage. Whoever he likes is what he puts there. He calls the shot whoever he wants. And all those boys are his boys. Nothing good about him. All the people he puts there are criminals who have sold drugs with him. So, but that's it. I hope you don't mind. So permit me for that. And the reason is people who speak the truth, they're always subjects of attack. So whether you like it or not, they're going to attack you. And that is what they are doing. He exposed them so badly, and they are so bruised, so bitter. And they will do whatever they can, to make sure that this streak of progress will not continue. And that is the sad thing about how some of us Africans think, pulling down syndrome, so that the people come back to square one. Well, it is left for the people of Abia, for me, those who have lived through Oji Uzokalo, they have lived through Theodore Oji, they have lived through Ikbazo, and they understood the hell that they went through. And now they are dealing with someone who brought light, brought joy, brought happiness, ease of transportation, ease of doing business. And I hear there's a strong power generating system in that state. The industries in the the Aba enterprise is rolling. Well, if they want to reverse that for idiots to take over their state, well, that is too bad. Yes. Yeah. So I would think if I have to advise him, he should focus more on what he is doing, and if he has the intention of running for a second term, he should really just keep on working and let the people be the ones. They will be the soldier. They don't, no matter what. When the people, no army can stop a determined people. No army no army, no army. Even if they assemble all the army, United States Army to come to Abia, if the Abia people want what the oppressors want, they will fail. They will fail. Yeah. So if I were in his position, I will continue. I will even be campaigning. I will continue to work.
Just
And
work. That's right.
yes,
Just work.
just work. Yes. So that is why they are angry. They are fidgety. They are scared. They are scared. Their infrastructure is being dismantled, in their face. So they can't conjecture that this is happening, but it is happening. So my advice to Mr. Otti is to continue to work. That's the best
Yes.
campaign. That's the best campaign. You know why I'm saying this? I go back to the time of Jonathan Goodluck. Jonathan Goodluck had a rare opportunity of being president of Nigeria. He didn't want, he was an unwilling president, I must say. He was, the way he came to become vice president, you saw how it happened. It was like something that was arranged divinely for him to make a difference. But this guy was so unwilling to do anything. Right? We know the effort we put. I met him one-on-one here when he came to Houston, when they were trying to stop him from becoming the vice president, even though it was his constitutional right to be. But some people wanted to stand in his way. He came here. We told him everything he needs to do. We did not say, go and represent Southern Nigeria. We said, go and do this for Nigeria. He went there and did a direct opposite of everything. He started now, he brought the people, the enemies of Nigeria, to destroy whatever plan that he had. But eventually they made him president through their doctrine of necessity. All right. And it was the voice of some of us speaking from behind. And this woman, Dora Akoili, said it in the open, that they were also embarrassed. They didn't have a choice but to let him be. He served out those 2 years of Yaradua's term. Now, he stood for an election, a stand-alone election, Mr. Jonathan Goodluck, wanting to be president of Nigeria now. And that election, I call it a blackmail election against the whole of Nigeria. Nigeria did not have a choice, but chose him as the leader. They made him president. So he served 4 years, right? That's 6 years in all. What was he looking for? In those 4 years, especially the last 4 years that he had, I would think that he will go out there like a lion, like a bulldozer, and doing everything, destroy the infrastructure that has held Nigeria captive for a very long time. But sadly, no. The same people came that they call themselves northern leaders. They are not, when they say northern leaders, there's nothing like northern leaders. Because those people are not representative of whatever. I don't believe in the north or south. But that's what they say. They are northern leaders. But look at them. They are all Fulanis. A group of Fulanis cannot be northern leaders. And they have found a way to emasculate the people in that region of Nigeria. So we don't hear people, the Toti, we don't hear him. He's never there. We don't hear the Ochidoma of Idoma land. We don't hear the Igala people. We don't hear anything. Whenever you hear not, going today now forward, if go look at the pictures, you will see. It's a few Fulanis come together and they will say they are making statement on behalf of Arawa, on behalf of the North. They are Fulani leaders. Those were the people who wrecked Jonathan Goodluck. I'm so mad at him. I'm so angry. So when they call him the best leader in Nigeria, I will be like looking for what he did. You know the first thing he did? What they told him? They lied to him. They deceived him into making a Fulani man his national security advisor, like Tinubu did again right now. What did he do? He sabotaged him. He was stealing money unrelentlessly, just unrelentingly, And then they came. Dr. Odumegu, who was the chairman of the Nigerian National Population Commission. That man had mapped out Nigeria for a scientific head count, the first in Nigeria, biometric head count. What was he trying to do? If they had allowed him do what he wanted to do, we won't be having this problem of Boko Haram. Everybody will be tracked. For the first time, we'll be able to track people's criminal history. And that they were scared of, because they won't be able to bring people from Niger, from Chad, from Mali, and from Mauritania to be counted as Nigerians and taking benefit from Nigeria. And they're still sharing the citizenship of Cameroon and all those other countries. You see, the Fulanis you see in Nigeria, they have multiple citizenship. You and I have one, Nigeria. Yes, they take advantage of the porous border, and they made it not porous. All you need to do is speak Hausa. Yes. So they prevented him. They told him to fire Dr. Domegu for them to back him in his second term. And he did it. He did it and replaced him with their choice. Not knowing that they had the Buhari on the other side, waiting in line to take him over. So that was what happened to Goodluck Jonathan. He failed to campaign through work and work and work. He didn't need to, if he worked, I was working all to the last minute. He did not need any campaign for anybody for votes. The vote from one
shown who he is.
The work, but he did not do anything. He opened the court for them to take everything in the treasury. That is their trading stock. They are stock in trade. Fulani elites, thieves. That's what they are, the ones who brought Nigeria down, much more than any group in Nigeria. And this is something we have to do something about. And this is why I am recommending that Dr. Otti should not be listening to a campaign, but just keep on working.
Keep working.
Keep on working, expressing the people. Do it honestly like he has been doing it. And then no matter how many odd Jews or Carlos will come, no matter what they say is federal might, what is federal might? If the federal might come and the people say, no, we don't want your federal might here.
That's right. It wouldn't matter.
It's the power of the people. That is what the people should be working towards, to use to keep the man that is working for them in power, or otherwise. It is. Yes. That's my opinion. And this is the reason why they want him out.
Thank you. Wonderful. Love it. Let me play just another little video. Or do you want to, Dibia Chedoze, do you want to comment on expand on what you meant?
I wasn't using Tinubu as an example, but there's a structure he has here which makes him to continue to perpetuate himself in power. Now, I'm saying Otti should come and study that. He has very smart people in Abia who can do that. And institute a structure in Abia across all the local governments, across all the nooks and crannies of Abia, to make sure that there's a structure on ground that will ensure that capable people always win.
Yeah.
That's what because Tinubu, what is bad about what is bad in Lagos is not the structure. What is bad is the character. Who is championing the structure. And Otti is not that character. Otti is a different person. If he takes that structure, he will take that structure to favor the people, not himself. So that's just the thing there. Because if he does all the work and he does not have a structure to be sure that that work continues, they are going to rub off all he has done in just a matter of months. They will rubbish everything he has done in just a matter of months. So, because the people's will and the people's protest, uncoordinated, will not muster force. It is better there's a structure to which the people speak to, act within, that will ensure that whatever happens, power will be in the hands of the virtuous people. And once we ensure that the virtuous people are in power, no matter the party they are in, you have to play the game. You have to play the game. You can distribute your people in all the parties. And you do as if you are fighting everywhere, but you know where the real person will emerge. It may not even be the party where they put themselves. The so-called APC, you must have infiltrated them. And once it's electoral, you stage a coup there. So, like I told a candidate that came for a PhD interview who looked at the prince as a corrupt leader, I had to correct his impression of the prince. Machiavelli's The Prince was not a corrupt leader. Machiavelli's The Prince was a leader, a political virtuoso who used every means possible to deal with the corrupt society and institute order in that society. Because if you read Machiavelli's The Prince throughout, he says the prince must be one who knows the history of the people inside out. He must master the topography of that particular, of his area. Nobody should be a military tactician more than him, a coordinator more than him. He must combine everything necessary in leadership to deal with the corrupt people. He even gave example. He said the prince has only two choices, and only two. One, to work with the cabal against the people, or make a scapegoat of the cabal and work with the people. If he decides to work with the people, then he must be ruthless in dealing with the cabal. So that's why he gave example of Caesar Borgia, who was an upstart, who was so powerful that even the prince could not control him. So the prince looked for a way of dealing with him and sending a message to others. One fateful early morning, the prince went and killed Caesar Borgia, hewed him into carcass, and put his carcass at the central junction with his head on top, so that everybody who passed and saw that said, wow, if the prince can do this to Caesar Borgia, what else can he do to all the upstarts? So by that simple making Caesar Borgia the most prominent upstart in that region, a scapegoat, every other person just went and started doing the right thing. So the prince is not a corrupt leader. The prince is a leader who uses every means possible to deal with the corrupt people to institute order. That is what Jonathan did not understand. And he did not understand it because he did not understand history. And I must say, Jonathan's character does not permit him to act that way. Because I remember when Jonathan was being pushed forward to become Nigeria's president, I looked at a picture of his where he had no cap, and I looked at his forehead. I did not see light on his forehead, and I knew he lacked the charisma to lead. He will not muster force, because for you to lead and people to follow you, you must have that star, that sun, burning sun in your forehead. Because the concept of leadership is that people do not know the psychic dimension to it, which you call spirituality. The sun does not wait for its planet. Its planet follows it because it has a magnetic pull. So when you have that sun burning here and it's shining, if you make your hand that way, people will follow. Jonathan does not have it. Now, I want to challenge you. If you have a way of looking at people's forehead, look at Ochi's forehead. You see that his forehead that looks like an axe. You see it is powerful. There's that light there. It's very powerful. So he just needs to take a step and he will break through.
He says.
So in addition to working, he must if he has not developed that yet, he must develop a structure that runs across every nook and cranny of Abia State to ensure that no matter what happens, only the virtuous people are elected into power.
Very good. I needed you to clarify that, and I want to share the screen again to show what is going on, and then we'll come back to UD. Okay, so let me share the screen. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, just be patient. Give me 1 minute. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me share the screen. It's about Otti again.
From fixing roads to paying salaries on time, promoting transparency, and putting the people first, he's leading with vision and integrity. Watch the big transformation so far in Abia State and tell us what you think about him. Thanks for watching.
The story of Abia in 2025 is proof any society can claw its way back from the mayday of despair to a place of hope and renewal. If you are at any of the major streets in Aba or Umuahia by the close of business on the 28th day of May 2023, or applied any of the major roads in the cities, or perhaps had a home or a business around Umunochi, Sukwato axis within the same period, and returned to those locations today, what you would observe are not mere changes. They are living proofs that nothing is beyond redemption.
My name is Comrade John Chibikodema. The governor has done a lot which I've never seen in the history of Abia for the first time. Since his tenure, this is 2 years now. In fact, he has changed lives. He has changed our business to business growth. We have imparted another new life to us. This road now being Port Harcourt Road, formerly it's no-go area. You cannot even talk of coming down here. You cannot even talk of trading. You cannot even talk of associating with people. But today, a very big change.
Before, for 25 years now, we are suffering here. We've been suffering. No way, no life, no nothing. If you go to Crystal Park before, there's a lot of dustbin, heavy dustbin there. So there's no way this road you cannot go there. No business for us. Even strangers don't come into Port Harcourt Road. But today now, I thank God that God has given us somebody who has given us life back to life. God has given us somebody who can make us so that our children can eat. We can train our children. They can go to school. We buy books for them.
The heaps and mountains of refuse that welcomed you to our urban centers 2 years ago have since disappeared. The nightmare of driving through impassable roads is now a distant memory, and residents of communities once besieged by kidnappers and an assortment of criminals can now sleep and snore. The anxiety of yesterday is gone.
Recently, in the last 2 years, when there was some issues of insecurity in the entire environs, coupled with the forest that is surrounding the cattle market and the environs, especially around the Chelsea axis. But forcefully, on the coming of the administration of this new government, the governor have it is humanly possible with this capability as the number one citizen of Abia State, coupled with our former mayor of Umunochi local government, Chief in the BCK, who on his own and other security agencies find it necessary to see what can we do to find a lasting solution in terms of maintaining peace and order in this community.
For teachers in public schools, regular civil servants and retirees, the agony of false expectations, empty promises, and official deceit have given way to certainty and fidelity to the promise of prompt and regular payment of entitlements. It's either before or on the 28th of every month. No excuses. A few years ago, tens of thousands of civil servants went several calendar months with no kobo in their salary or pensions accounts. Today, a 24-hour delay is seen as an anomaly. Beyond just paying workers and retirees as and when due, about 30 billion naira have also been committed to defraying arrears accumulated before May 29th, 2023. In several homes across the state, joy has taken the place of anguish as children return to schools and hopes for brighter tomorrow restored. All debts are paid off and access to credit facilities re-established because the creditors know when everyone who works for or retired from the employ of the state government will get their paychecks.
People became uninterested. People were demoralized, staff, because of accumulated arrears of salaries, non-payment of salaries. So people were no longer putting in their best. But since the governor came, since Dr. Alex Otti came, the salaries have been regular and even went as far as clearing the arrears of salaries owed to us. And because of that, people are now putting in their best.
The present look of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Secretariat in Umuahia tells all the difference between what was and what has become. The manicured lawns, the conventional and alternative energy sources, reliable water supply systems, high-speed internet infrastructure, improved office furniture, and an entire ecosystem that supports optimal workforce productivity points us to everything that has changed in the last 24 months. The Jack building at Ogurube layout with a 750-seat capacity well-furnished auditorium provides conducive atmosphere for public events and reminds us of the treasures that were hitherto allowed to lie waste beyond the capacity to provide a beautiful space for occasions of all sorts without disrupting regular urban activities and traffic. The Jack building also houses the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and departments and agencies connected thereto. The complex also provides office accommodation to the Our Health Management Bureau and several other parastatals that were previously squatting in spaces that undermine the smooth conduct of government businesses.
My name is Principal Oriako. I'm from Okuti Beku. This place was abandoned for quite a long time now, during the past administration. But it was Oti administration that furnished this place, put it in order, where people like it so much more than every other place.
For thousands across rural and urban communities, access to healthcare just got better with the delivery of 200 new and retrofitted primary healthcare facilities. Beyond the transformation in primary healthcare, the last 24 months have also seen the building, rehabilitation, and renovation of scores of secondary and tertiary health centers, replacing dilapidated structures with modern, fit-for-purpose facilities to serve the health needs of the people while improving the general quality of life. To crown it all, the construction of an ambitious $1.3 billion Abia Medical City project will kick off in a matter of weeks following the conclusion of site selection and the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the financial partners. Upon completion, this multi-specialist facility will eternally change the medical services delivery ecosystem in Nigeria and across the West African region. The Abia Medical City will not just serve the medical needs of today, it will open our eyes to the possibilities of tomorrow. While the medical city will run as a private facility offering premium services to individuals and families with the resources to pay, the holistic medical architecture in Abia will be rejigged to effectively support everyone else with simple and complex medical conditions. The Abia State Diagnostic and Specialist Hospital in Umuahia has since been transformed to a center of regional excellence in eye care, urology, and several other health specialties. It is interesting to note that this health facility that now attends to the health needs of
Wow.
You know, we can go on and on and on.
Wow.
This is what I talk about. This is leadership. Proud Abia right here. Proud Abia.
Wow.
I care what everybody says. I'm proud to be
Nigerian?
an Abia. I can't wait to go home. I can't wait. Now, let me tell you very honestly, the secretariat they were talking about, because I went with my sister, we stayed in a hotel right where it was the biggest I saw. It was horrific. And it is in a neighborhood that is so, huge houses with dilapidated windows and grounds. That place right now is phenomenal. Now, one of the reasons why people get nervous about going home is the fact that there are no hospitals. But what I hear is that if you get sick in Abia State, you don't have to come to the US. You don't have to go to London. You will be taken care of right there in Abia State. They're coming from different parts of Nigeria to get medical care in Abia State. That's the way it should be. That's leadership. So why, Yudi?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we praise such a person? When you praise someone for doing something good, they do more.
Yeah.
This man is telling them it can be done. He's getting the same amount of money. But guess who I saw in Abia State? Ngozi Iweala, Ikonji Iweala.
Oh, okay.
Has been the head of World Bank. Now, let me tell you why I say that. Now, I don't know where the money is coming from, but if you're doing good, the right people, the people will see what you're doing, and whatever those projects are, it will be funded. I'm not saying that the World Bank is the best, but you're correct.
You're correct. All right, man. All right, you
know what I'm saying? So I am so proud of our governor, and I am praying that God will continue to bless him, so he will continue to do what he's doing. And like you said, there's no guarantee that we will not be stupid enough to let this man go. And then all this good stuff that he's doing will just be pushed back. So let us hope. You did your thoughts.
I mean, I'm just like a bride.
Did you see that medical health center?
I mean, my mind is blown right now, because even though I know that there are a lot of good things going on in Abia State, but I haven't really taken the time myself to kind of look at some of the infrastructure developments and really look at the micro. I've been looking at this from a micro perspective. I've never went micro to kind of like get into what's he doing here, there, education, schools, construction, all that stuff. So this is twofold, and I'm not going to spend time on what he's doing, the projects and all that stuff. I think we've discussed it ad nauseum already on this show. So we are all in agreement that Oji is a good leader. It really is. There are two folds. I'm trying to look at it from where do we go from here, right? We're all fascinated and proud and happy about seeing this kind of Black leadership in Africa, let alone Abia State, that to me personally probably was the worst run state in Nigeria for the past 25 years till this guy showed up. I mean, that's my take. Imo State could be worse. I don't know. But from my own perspective, Abia State just had nothing to write home about. So
Nothing.
I'm looking ahead, and where do we go from here? You know, what is going on? What is happening in Abia State? How did we get here? There are two folds to this thing that we need to look at. One is the macro, aspect of it, which is dealing with infrastructure, the roads, the hospitals. We watched the video and we saw all this good infrastructure stuff going on, so on and so forth. That's a macro part. And that's usually the part that people look at, right? And you have to keep doing it, as our esteemed guest had, alluded to. Just keep doing it. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Just keep doing it. Then the micro part of it, in terms of sustainability, because the macro part of the sustainability is to keep doing whatever it is that you're doing that is making people happy and you're improving people's lives. You have to keep doing that. That is integral to your success, period. There's no ifs or buts about it. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's just a story. So the macro part of it is what people see, right? Then the micro part of it is where the Pan-African mindset comes in. It's where spirituality comes in. It's where culture comes in. It's where you really look at the makeup of the people from a primordial perspective. How do we ensure that people continue to think in this progressive way? We talked ad nauseum on this show a whole lot of times. Dibia will tell you that. Culture is the backbone of the people, and all human systems are products of religion. All of them. It's religion first. It is the realization that there's something greater than you. That thing that makes you think there's something responsible for the life-sustaining forces here on earth. The air you breathe, the animals you eat, the plants you eat, the sun that rises. You didn't create that. You ascribed it to something greater than yourself, and that something becomes the Almighty Chineke, God, Olodumare, Obangiji, God of many names, whatever you want to call it, Tamuna, Uvuzulele, Nkulu, all of them, all referring to the same thing. That's the micro part of it. That's the part that we need to take a look at and really concentrate beyond the micro aspect of road construction to make sure that people have the mindset that they need, that Pan-African mindset that you need to sustain this development. It's something that we must look at. Absolutely. Your civil laws come from religion. Your economic systems come from religion. Your history comes from religion. Your economic system comes from religion. Every human system is a product of religion. When somebody tells you that, shall not lie. In a civil court, that will get you some jail time or fine. And that jail time or fine is intended to curb your attitude, your behavior, and make you conform. But spiritually speaking, lying now says that karma will follow you in this life or when you die. If you murder somebody, in the Christian context, for example, they tell you you're going to hell. In civil law, they're telling you life in jail or the death penalty. Both of them designed to curb behavior and force you to conform and behave a certain expected way so that you become a productive member of society and don't give everybody a hard time. Another part of micro, after all these things and the development and the roads and all that is going on and everything is great and we're happy, but we also need to understand leadership is really a people's problem. You get the leader you vote for. Your attitude gives you the leader that you have. But it's also very important to understand one thing. when things go bad, you cannot hold the people at gunpoint that don't want to be held. And we all alluded to it right here. If you do good for the people, they will crown you kings. Just do good, just like esteemed guests have said. Just keep doing. But you must sustain it by the kinds of things that Dibia was talking about with the Timber thing, and trying to set up a situation where when you are not there, you still leave the right leadership infrastructure to make sure that we don't go back to the hell that we just came from. You know, progress is not 4 years of good stuff and then another 4 or 8 years of bad stuff. Then maybe add another 4 or another 8 years of bad stuff. Then you come get another couple of years of good stuff. Then you go right back to where you were. Perambulating, just spinning our wheels. That's really what we do. We have a situation in Abia State that is not just good for the people of Abia. It's good for the Black world in general. Abia State, to me, is my Burkina Faso. You understand? It's my Burkina Faso. It's a leader coming in with love in his heart for his people, understanding that if they do good, he will be crowned king. I want to be crowned king, but I want to be crowned king because the people say that I've earned the right to be crowned a king because of my character and what I did for them. So in leadership in Nigeria, every Nigerian leader should really have this in their mind. It should really be their mindset. If I do good, I will be crowned king, and I want to be king. I want to be crowned king by the people. And the only way to do that is to do for the people, to sustain it for the people. I don't need a political campaign. I don't need any political machine. My people will stand with me because I've done some good for them. That's my qualification. That's what makes me qualified to ask to be your governor for the next 4 years. And it's that simple to me. It's not really complicated. What's complicated to me is really the people, because my father, Ahan, said, you cannot hold the people at gunpoint that don't want to be held. If people say, you know what? I don't care how big your army is. I don't care if you got Goliath working for you. But in this land right here, you will not rule over us. Bring on your army. Bring them on. It's that simple. You get the leadership that you allow to lead you, that you give permission to control your lives, that you give permission to direct what direction this community, your children, to dictate what their future is going to look like. You have the right to do it. And the only way to do it is to let anybody who has any ambition of leadership to know that it don't matter how big their wallet is, how many thugs they got working for them. But in this land, in this community, we are the power here, not you. But unfortunately, like we always know, like we know, when tyranny rears its ugly head, one of the strategies of tyranny and authoritarian leadership and thievery and all these cabals in Nigeria is to make sure that people are hungry. It's to make sure that the guy with a master's degree in computer science is at the motor park as a bus conductor. If you don't have opportunities, it's kind of hard to fight when you're starving. But understand one thing though, as much as you're starving, as much as the first rule of tyranny is to make sure that the people are messed up and hungry, bottom line is, if you push me to the wall, you can't push me through it. That's the bottom line. Bottom line is, a king without a subject is not a king. Leadership with nobody to lead is not leadership. Now you could tell me you're the lead, you could do all that stuff, but if I have had a taste of Governor Otti, and you want me to go back to the hell that I just came from, then I'll let you know that a king without subject is no king. You will not rule me. I'm already starving. You've already got my back on the wall. You're not going to put me in the grave. And as far as I'm concerned, my condition is my coffin.
That's
You're
right.
trying to put me in there and keep me in there and then bury me. No.
No.
You cannot rule me. You cannot be my leader if I don't let you.
Listen, I gotta give it up. I gotta give it up to y'all. I got. You guys brought it this morning. You brought it. Thank you. You brought it.
One more thing. It's not long. It's very short. Ajaja said something about sports, and this will take me to 30 seconds. It is time for us to create an economic environment where our great athletes don't have to go to Europe to play professionally. They could play professionally in Africa once you create the conditions where corporate Africa gets involved in sports. And we could stop losing all these great athletes to Europe and everywhere else and create our own sports franchises in Africa where those who participate can make a good living, where Europe is not that attractive anymore because they can make that kind of bread right here in Africa.
Let's go. Say it again. Say it again. This is wonderful, wonderful. This has been an engaging conversation. And I'm telling you, all those who are listening, and of course, people go and listen after the presentation here today. So I'm sure that we're going to have quite a bit of engagement. Now, I think it's very important that I share this. Most of our videos, if you go and look at them on YouTube, they don't have the conversation. You will not see the conversations that the participants are making because we're streaming to YouTube. We're not on YouTube. So most of our comments stay on StreamYard. I just wanted to make that. And I also want to remind people that if you're enjoying this conversation, to please make sure that you go and support Chiism Live on YouTube and also on Facebook. We will love and appreciate your support. And that's what keeps us going. Follow us. Let me get this person off here for a minute. Follow us on chiism.org and also Global Fit Ministries of Chiism at gmail.com if you want to mail us. And then subscribe to Chiism Live on YouTube. Your participation in that manner helps us to continue to bring in more and more shows for you. We're going to be having this twice a week, and then we're going to have 2 weeks based on prayer and libations and things of that nature. And then twice a week, or rather twice a month, we have the round table. And we ask you to continue to join us and share the videos. You know, you guys have the opportunity to clip it if you wish, share whatever part that you found most exciting, share it. That's how many individuals, you don't even have to cut it up. Just go to YouTube and copy the link and share with your friends. You know, we need to promote something that belongs to us. You know, we have a tendency to support others, but we don't always support our own things. So we need to do that. So we ask you to support this channel. And of course, we also want you to visit the channel of our wonderful, wonderful participant today, Smart Ajaja. Smart, would you please tell them again how to get in touch with you?
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, beautiful audience. To get in touch with me, you can follow me on YouTube at ONN on Channel 1 on YouTube, at ONN on Channel 1 on YouTube. You want to follow me on Twitter, it is at Smart Ajaja, at Smart Ajaja. Then on Facebook, you want to join us on Facebook, we are at Open Nigeria 1. That is Open Nigeria, ONE at the end. And then that's it. You get connected. That's the best way to reach us. And it's a pleasure being here today. And I'm so happy that we had the opportunity to engage ourselves in this conversation, and I'll continue. Anytime you invite me, I'll be more than happy to be here.
Oh, you just didn't know. You've just been conscripted.
Yep, you have.
No, we are firm believers. That's how Dibia Chiedozie came to us. He thought it was a one-time deal. We told him no, we want you, because I'm a firm believer that we have some great minds, right, out here that we're not tapping into. We need to tap into them. I'm not concerned about how many people watched the show as it's being, I'm more interested that we put something out there that people can go and look at eventually. Do you understand? Whenever time, because Saturday, sometimes people are out there partying or whatever they're doing, going to parks with the children and whatever, but they take the time afterwards to go and read, go and listen to the program, But I think that we must tap into the brains of Nigeria, the brains of Africa, the African Americans who are thought leaders, who believe that Pan-Africanism is the way to move Africa forward. So we are always excited to bring the best of the best, as far as I'm concerned, to the Dibia roundtable, because this is where discussion happens. We're not bashful. We say like it is. Some people may not like it, but that's just too bad. That's why we have freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we use it. We're not bashful about using that because we need it. If more people would take the time and say, hey, I have a next one. We have the head of he's an Obatala, who is going to who is with the Ifa religion. He's going to share with us information about Ifa. That's the next show that we have. He's going to be on the round table, and he's a very fascinating elder. So I'm excited to bring him and here. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now that's one man who's not bashful. Dibia, let me tell you, he doesn't hold back. Just like Smart Madu Ajaja doesn't hold back. Just like y'all don't hold back. This guy does not hold back. And he says, I'm old. I've lived. I know what was. And I can tell you what is and what will not be. So we want to hear from the elders. We want to hear from all those. We want to hear from different religions. Everybody has a perspective. But our focus today, of course, is people using their spirituality to lead. Don't tell me about your religion. Show me your religion. That's what's important. Now I'm going to ask for closing remarks before I add my closing remarks from each one of you. Let us start with Smart Madwa Jaja. What do you want to leave us with?
All right. Let me first of all appreciate. I'm highly honored being invited to this platform of great minds. I can't express how inspired I am whenever I come here. And just thank you. And to the listeners here, don't just be a listener here. Everything that is said here is something that can inspire something more positive than you can imagine. So take the message, everything you take away from here, take them very seriously. They can help you navigate through life as an individual. They can help you navigate as leaders and various ways of life. And if you're a Nigerian listening to me today, you must understand one thing. We have had 65 years following independence.
Yes.
Sadly, I would say that we have not made the type of progress that we needed to make. A 65-year-old person is coming close to being an elder, right?
Yes.
And if you are 65 years old and you are not able to make any progress, there is a problem. And this is what we all must really introspect about why are we stuck as a people?
Mm.
Why are we stuck as a country? Why is it that after 65 years, we are still talking about Christian ticket, Muslim ticket, as if Islam is a country? And if it's a country or Christianity is a country, where is the capital? Who are the citizens of that? Yes, because going through the independence declaration documents for Nigeria, it was stated that Nigeria was one country with one destiny, with one people. But now ask yourself a question: you're a Nigerian. You know, it's the way we are doing things in Nigeria. Is it reflective of one country? Is Nigeria truly one country? Is Nigeria truly one people? If we cannot assemble the best of Nigerians to drive the destiny of Nigeria, why am I some people, why am I spoken to as a Southerner and somebody is spoken to as a Northerner? And do you call me one Nigeria? We call me one Nigeria. That, in my opinion, is not one Nigeria. But we can make Nigeria one, truly, from our hearts. And for us to do that, we have to be born again. Yes. Now, this generation, I speak to you. You are the worst hit. I saw a little bit of goodness of Nigeria before the disaster that they call civil war, that I know was a genocide, you know, was orchestrated. And the people who orchestrated it are still very much around us through their generations. So this disaster has become a generational thing. So I would want to see a group of Nigerians or a generation of Nigerians that will say, yes, today we solemnly say that we are divorcing ourselves from our divisive and dysfunctional past.
Yes.
And to start Nigeria on a new page,
He
driven
said.
by those with the best of interest for the whole people of Nigeria, going forward generation to generation. A country that will be driven, will be open to freedom of expression, the right to re-citizenship of Nigeria, where an Igbo man who lives in Lagos will not be reminded that he's not a Yoruba and so he does not own Lagos, even though Lagos is a part of Nigeria. Where I will go to the north, and particularly Kano State, where I lived for 8 years, and I had to run away from there to save my life because some people thought I was not a Muslim. We should abandon this old philosophy that hold one is superior and the others inferior.
Yes.
And just come together to build a genuine country.
Thank you. Thank you.
By citizens.
Thank you.
The Holy Ghost does not build countries. The citizens build. You have to make that conscious decision to make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Yudi, very quickly.
Very quickly. We have we need to pay a little bit more attention to canons of African socio-economic system, where the primary capital is land, which is communally owned. We're talking about communalism. Labor is a communal thing. Individuals engage in private enterprise. Everybody works regardless of their social status, making the society classes. No position attracts special privileges. No serfs, no quarters. Blah, blah, blah. Group image is emphasized against the individualism, and everybody and future generations, were guaranteed economic and social security. This is African socio-political system, right? And our age grade system is also part of it. And all these things combined ensure incorruptible leadership. Okay, Dibia, as you well know, you cannot be corrupted in Mboro Abala. That's it. You can't, right? We had things in place before Christianity, before Muslim, before whatever, that kept us on the path of rectitude. We now behave as if Africans never had anything worth flaunting to the world. Like we didn't know God, we didn't know anything, we had no social systems, we had no leadership, we had nothing. That's how we behave, and that's how we look at ourselves today as people that were never part of the story about discoveries in human history. And yet we do know, at least here in the United States, 70% of all discoveries here in America were by Black folks. Africans over here were showing them how to inoculate children. We were doing brain surgery in Africa while the guy whose brain is being operated on is playing some traditional game or something and having conversations while his cranium is open. Africans have always been great. We've always been capable of original thought. We just need love. It's the highest religion. In cheers, man.
Love each other.
Love is the highest religion, man. Oti is successful because he loves the people.
Yes, say it again.
You got to love, man. If you love, all this other stuff we're talking about is possible.
Yes.
We can have this utopia. You just got to love. African Americans got to love Jamaicans. Jamaicans got to love Nigerians. Nigerians got to love South Africans. Igbos got to love Yorubas. Yorubas got to love Hausa. Hausa got to love whatever. Because the truth is this. When they see us, when they want to do us in, they don't ask you if you're from Ghana. They don't ask you if you're Nigerian. They don't care if you're African American. They don't want to know if you're from Jamaica. You just got to be Black. And if you're Black, you're African. If you're African, you're getting it from them. So we need to understand that, love one another, come together, unite. We are at a point in the world right now where it is absolutely perfect right now to make that move of unity and develop and do what we're supposed to do, because the rest of the world is too busy trying to survive right now, as we speak, including China.
Yes.
My people, come on.
All
Let's
right.
love one another, because love is the highest religion. And only when we love each other and care about each other can we get to a point where all our governors start to act like Governor Otti.
Say it again. Amen.
Yes.
Dibia, your comment, please. We got a few minutes, just a few minutes.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes.
Am I breaking?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
I'm breaking.
No, we're hearing you.
You're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I love that last. Okay, that last submission from what smart Madu Jadat and my brother Udemeze. For what you said, you see, from openness to love, these are very essential, especially as it comes chiism, which our host has kept hammering on from beginning. And now, so we are, I would say in a way, we are blessed having she as our coordinator, because where you have the she coordinating things, the earth is in charge and things will be in place. So, but I love to say that to add to openness, that love controls openness. So I love to add to love, light and life. Love that surpasses all things, light that illuminates all things, and life in abundance. However, we must walk by the tenets of chiism.
Yes.
Chiism says we should redefine ourselves where we are lost. So, like our brother, smart Madu Ajaja said, yes, Nigeria is 65, nearing what do you call it? Nearing
elder
sagehood. However, we should realize that the entities that make up Nigeria are more than 65 years.
I agree.
Yeah.
There are 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, millions of years. So what does that tell us? We should redefine Nigeria. It is an insult to say I am 65 years old. It means I begin to exist from the day that the British gave the so-called flag
Say it again.
independence.
Say it again.
We have to go back to the foundation, Chiism. Chi, the beginning. Chi, the foundation. Chi, the fountain. Chi, the beginning and the end, but no beginning or end. Chi on end. We must go back to our foundations and redefine who we are. Establish ourselves on our own grounds, our deeply rooted. It is when we have done this that our love will blossom, our light will illuminate, and life will be in abundance. Then we will not be afraid of connectivity. The reason why we are not connecting now is because we are suspicious of one another. Because of the colonial enclave. Before colonization and the so-called new nations in Africa, there were no Igbo pan, this, pan, that. What we had were the Mporos were living their life, our papers were living their life, Okigwe were living their life, and we were all relating, on equal basis, and we practice what they call vassal states. States don't vanquish others. You only show you are more powerful and let others pay you tribute, but you don't extinguish their religion, you don't extinguish their life. And when you ask them for what they cannot give, they fight back, and others will join in fighting you. This new system of the winner takes all and the loser loses all is alien to our soil. So openness, love, beyond boundaries will not fructify if we do not redefine who we are and go back to the foundation and redefine our nations and give ourselves the names that befit us, not the names that we were given.
He say, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. You know, my spirit has been fed today, and I trust that everybody who joined us today was fed. Let us remember to keep Chineke. Olodumare, Tamonajinya, Mikatonda, Nyeminkosi, Vuzilele, whatever your name for the divine. Keep the divine at the helm of anything that you're doing. Spiritual emancipation does not come with just money. It comes with you acting in conjunction with the Most High to realize when I say that I am, that right where I am, Chineke is. Right where I am is the temple of the Most High. That means I have to be honorable. That means I have to treat my fellow human beings with utmost respect and dignity, because that's what we say that the Most High is. You cannot act differently from what you say that is within you. If you say that Chineke is within you, then act accordingly. And if you're going to be a leader, you must take that into consideration. Like everybody's saying, love. Love is the highest religion. If you want to be a true leader, you must have love at your heart, and you must have respect for the Creator that you praise every day. You go to church to praise. If you, after you have prayed, and you come back and you are contradictory to what you have done or you prayed for, then your blessings, you may get money, but ultimately your blessings will be taken from you. And how does that happen? Who knows? But you cannot do wrong and receive high blessings. So as we wrap this segment, I want to express my sincerest gratitude for our distinguished guest, Smart Madu Ajaja. I beg your pardon. Yeah, Ajaja, for the insights he shared. You have been very instrumental in making this roundtable very successful today. And I am so glad that you say we call you back, because it's important that we continue to have didactic discussions about who we are as a people, about what impacts our people, and whether we like it or not. That is our role. My father used to say, when you die, what would your tombstone say? What would you be known by? You don't have the right to die until you've made a difference. Never live anywhere unknown. That's what we're doing. We want to make a difference through discussion, through talking to our people, and hopefully they will hear. I want to thank Dibia Yudi and Dibia Chiedozie at this roundtable. Thank you so much. Your presence always enriches our discussions and contributes to this collective exploration of African spirituality and way of life. And to the rest of you, remember, as we engage in these conversations, we are not just sharing knowledge, but also fostering a deeper connection to our roots and to each other. I say this and I want it to be repetitive. I said it last time and I'm repeating it. I encourage you to reflect on the insights that you've heard today and consider how they resonate with your own journey, because we're all on a journey. So let's carry the spirit of this gathering into our daily lives and embody the joy, the hope, the peace that we have discussed. May the power of Chiism guide us, the power of the ancestors hold us up, and the power of Ike, the spiritual, the feminine energy of the Creator hold us up so that we can continue to uplift one another in our pursuits. Thank you so very much for being here today. It's been a pleasure having you, and we're looking forward to having you again. Thank you, said Akimi Bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Muke Charles. Thank you, Chiso 3. I think 3. I don't quite get that name, but I think it's Chiso TR3. Mother was that Chevron. Okay. Well, these are all very interesting names. Thank you, all of you, for being here with us. We appreciate you, and we certainly look forward to having you back with us again. Ndembato, ndife, unemelao, ya guys unu, atamechi, todi ma kanu, unemela, and so it is. We'll see you next time.
Amen.